Plus, brand new developments 3 years after the murder of a doctor from Bonita Springs, how soon the victim's husband could go on trial. And breaking news at 4, at least 4 people are confirmed dead in a shooting at a newspaper company in Maryland. These are live pictures from the scene where you can see a massive police presence here. These are images from outside the Capitol newspaper. That's in Annapolis. Authorities are swarming the building and trying to get everybody outside. This is video from earlier where dozens of people were running outside with their hands in the air, and we're learning that a gunman shot through the glass door to the office and opened fire on multiple employees. Investigators say a suspect is in custody right now. The White House says President Trump has been briefed on the shooting, and of course we will stay on top of this breaking news and bring you any new developments as soon as we get them confirmed. All right, thank you, Morgan. And also breaking in just the last 10 minutes, avoid the algae. The Florida Department of Health in Lee County just issued a health advisory. This is for the Alva Boat Ramp, Davis Boat Ramp, and the Franklin Locks. Those are all on the Caloosahatchee. The health department says if you swallow the algae, it could give you some stomach issues, and children and pets are especially at risk. A gas leak that forced people out of their homes is now fixed. Firefighters rushed to the Raleigh House apartments in Port Charlotte today. That's right next to Fawcett Memorial Hospital. Crews evacuated everyone who lives there, just as well as part of Cambridge House. Deputies closed Brinson Avenue while they got that leak fixed. Just moments before all this started happening, firefighters were actually taking part in a training for hazmat situations just like this. We'll show you the hands-on training just ahead on Wink News at 4. And we just learned the name of the woman who died in a fire earlier this week. Lee County deputies say Patricia Paysen's medical equipment malfunctioned and caught fire. She died and her husband got hurt and went to the hospital. This all happened Tuesday morning along Tomlinson Street in Bonita Springs. We're also learning new details about a disturbing turn of events for a man who spent years fighting against child sex abuse. Joel Davis is accused of asking an undercover agent for naked pictures of a 9-year-old. Wink News reporter Gina Tomlinson talked to people who know the Port Charlotte graduate, and they say they're stunned by the allegations. And the federal charges against Davis carry a maximum life in prison. Well, less water will flow from Lake Okeechobee soon, but not on our coast. The Army Corps of Engineers just announced it is reducing flows to the East Coast, but keeping West Coast releases the same. The East Coast will even have 9 days of zero flow. Sanibel Mayor Kevin Ruane is on a mission this summer, calling out the disparity between how much water is released to the two coasts. When that fresh water reaches our beaches, you know it turns the water dark and murky. And Ruane wants the Army Corps to come up with a solution that stops all the releases to our coast. The Army Corps is forced to release the water to protect the fragile Herbert Hoover Dike around the lake and the people who live there. New right now, pushing for more help for hurricane victims. Senator Bill Nelson just asked the Senate for unanimous consent to immediately pass his legislature to force FEMA to continue providing temporary housing assistance. The help would go to hundreds of displaced families who are still unable to return to their homes in the wake of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. All right, now, one of Fort Myers' signature roadways, known for its palm trees and historical designation, could soon get a new look. And here's what's in the works: a roundabout here at McGregor Boulevard and Virginia Avenue. Wink News reporter Taylor Petrus is at City Hall, where Historic Preservation Commission is expected to talk about the project. New at 4, the Transportation Security Administration is urging travelers to arrive early at airports across the country tomorrow. Security experts expect Friday to be one of the busiest travel days ever. More than 2.5 million people are expected to fly tomorrow ahead of the 4th of July. Make sure you give yourself extra time just to get through security. Tracking algae in southwest Florida, where the green and slimy water is headed, and what to expect over the next few days. That's all new at 4:30. And all new at 5 on Wink News exclusive, a sea turtle sick from red tide gets a second chance after weeks of recovery. The wildlife release you'll see only on Wink News at 5. And of course, we're staying on top of breaking news right now, where at least 4 people are dead at a shooting at a newspaper company in Annapolis, Maryland. You can trust Wink News. We just heard from a reporter at that newspaper, Phil Davis. He said there is nothing more terrifying than hearing multiple people get shot while you're under your desk and then hear the gunman reload. Wink News will be right back. And breaking in the last hour, the Florida Department of Health in Lee County just issued a health advisory about algae. This is for the Alva Boat Ramp, Davis Boat Ramp, and Franklin Locks, all along the Caloosahatchee. Meanwhile, green algae is now visible from the Interstate 75 bridge in Lee County. Wink News built you this map to show you the algae's progression into our area from the lake, and it continues to move toward the Gulf right now. Wink News reporter Melinda Lee is live along I-75. Melinda, you talked to an activist about this stretch of algae. Authorities are on the hunt for two men who killed a worker at a construction site. Someone killed 46-year-old Haynes Cruz and Alvarez in a Wesley Chapel neighborhood. The Pasco County Sheriff's Office says the victim worked for a tile company. The two men entered the construction site during a break and walked past other workers. One of the men tapped the victim on the leg and then shot him. Investigators have not said what might have motivated that killing. An officer in Orlando who was shot in the line of duty is showing signs of improvement. Officer Kevin Valencia is now responding to doctors and his family. A man shot Officer Valencia while holding 4 children hostage during a standoff earlier this month. The suspect killed the children and himself. Valencia is still in critical condition, but his wife says he's making a good recovery. Toys R Us stores across the country are closing their doors tomorrow, including the one in Fort Myers. More than 700 stores will officially close, but they may be replaced with other retailers. Party City already has plans to lease 50 of those locations for the holiday stores. Ross and the parent company of TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and Marshalls are also looking to expand, but are not sure where to yet. Lois, investigators say there is one person in custody right now, and they are under questioning right now. They just revealed within the last half hour that first responders were on the scene within about 60 seconds after they got word about the shooting. This all happened at the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland. An employee tweeted the gunman shot through the glass door to the office and opened fire on multiple employees. That same employee said on Twitter, quote, "There's nothing more terrifying than hearing multiple people get shot while you are under your desk and then hear the gunman reload." Now, you can see employees walking out of the building with their hands up in this video. Officers started searching the building immediately after the scene was secured to look for victims. A man who says he was an intern at the newspaper tweeted this out just about an hour ago. It says, "Active shooter, please help us." Now, White House officials say President Trump was briefed about this shooting, and he says his thoughts and prayers are with the victims and families. Wink News will continue to stay on top of this breaking story. You can trust us to have the latest information just as soon as we get it.